VIP.
Hey you guys, welcome to a vlog outside of the weekly vlog. Y'all, today is a time that I really want to take advantage of what today is, also based on some requests that I've been getting. So a lot of people, since I've always kind of gotten people to ask questions about the green room, what's all in the green room, where I get my idea from the green room, you know, all of the above. So I figured today is one of the best times to talk about it. But I'm saying all this to say that's going to be on another blog. But I wanted to talk about what inspired this green room, the Lee Lounge as we call it. So I don't know if any of you guys ever noticed in the background, but if you guys notice right here, it's an urn. And it's my mommy's urn. My mom is there. And the room was inspired and created around my mommy's urn. So I feel that I couldn't address the green room really. Those who are really close to me, they know where the concept came from. They know that. But a lot of times I kind of shy away from talking about the green room, the Lee Lounge, because it's very sentimental to me. But I feel like today is the best day because today is my mommy's birthday. And also it's my son's birthday. So I want to tribute this side vlog in tribute to my mommy. But also just to kind of, you know, honor her. And this is something, you know, like I told you guys, I've been really putting off wanting to do YouTube for the last 2 years, especially since she's passed. But this year I really felt it was time for me just to really, you know, come to YouTube and also do this today. So yeah, so you guys, the green room, as I said, was inspired by my mom. Growing up, my mom was very stylish. My mom loved home decor. It was nothing for my mom and my aunts to drag me out on the weekend. I'm talking about miles away, wherever, to go to fire sales, estate sales, garage sales, looking for, you know, furniture and home decor. Now, of course, as I was growing up, you know, some of the stuff that she would spend money on, I used to be like, oh, Mom, I don't like that. But one thing I will say, my mom has always allowed me to be creative. When it came down to fashion, even my bedroom, you guys, growing up, my bedroom was purple from head to toe. All my walls were like a bubblegum deep purple. And those of you who are like 90s kids like myself, I used to always have, like, my walls used to be slathered in magazine covers, tape cases, vinyl covers. I mean, my walls were just, but it was what free, you know, free for all. Whatever I wanted to do, my mom always gave me creative to do so. So anyway, so growing up, you know, home decor, everything that really used to be my favorite. And, you know, that I've gotten older, you know, I've had a few different little business ventures. Years ago, you guys, I used to do furniture. I used to repurpose furniture. My company was called Remix Furniture. You know, then I kind of, you know, I have, you know, helped people curate, you know, rooms in their home, especially when we, you know, everybody was working from home during COVID. You know, I would be in Home Goods. It was nothing for me to be in Home Goods, you guys. And, you know, women would just come up to me and ask me questions, gravitate to me and just ask my opinion on different pieces, whether it be from lamps, pieces of furniture, you know, how Home Goods, you know, have all those things in. But anyway, so I'm saying this to say I could not address this room without, you know, with my mom. But I also wanted to talk about grief. You guys, why nobody talk when people talk about grief, why does nobody talk about not only the loss that you feel, but the self loss that you feel? Why does nobody, talk about, or if so, or if any of you guys can relate, why I am feeling like I'm walking around sometimes like in a zombie like state. If any of you guys feel that way, chime in, put it in the comment. Feel like a zombie like state. I also feel like since my mom's passing, not only did I lose her, but I also lost a lot of relationships along the way. People who I also thought I could never live my life without. I am now walking through life without them. I don't know if it's because like blinders were lifted and I can just see through a lot, see through bullshit, or I just chose not to, but I just lost a lot of people. But one thing I will say, you guys, going through life without my mother and parenting without my mom is one of the hardest things that I've had to do, honestly. And one thing I will say as it relates back to this room and why this urn was the inspiration of this room, you all. The green room, the Lee Lounge, was my mom's bedroom. We were my mom's caregivers, myself, my kids, and my husband. We were my mom's caregivers for 14 years. From wherever, for the last 14 years, we've been in this home for the last 6 years now. But, whether, from our town home to other houses that we've had, my mom has been with us. Now, there have been, specific times where she might have to have gone to a rehab facility, or something like that. But for 14 years, my mother was, we were my mom's caregivers. And this was her final and last home. And this green room was my mom's room. And I did it in tribute to her, as well as when I got the urn, I knew my mom was far from basic. I knew she could not just be in just some typical basic urn. When it was time to make the arrangements, I instantly was like, you know what, let me go. And when I chose this urn, and I built the room and created this room and curated this room around my mommy. And from the greens to the reds, the florals, everything, it's around this urn. And I knew she was gonna come back home, and I wanted her forever home to be some place where she would enjoy, because I can imagine if my mom was still here, her sitting in one of these chairs or sitting in her, electric wheelchair in here with us while we're in here sipping on cocktails, while we're in here, talking shit, hooping. My mom would be, she would most definitely be right here in this room with us if she was still here. So, yeah, this was, this is, a tribute to my mom. And, from time to time before I actually did this room, it was hard for me to even cross the threshold of these doors. I couldn't come in this room. I couldn't look at this room. I had to keep those double doors closed because I could not bring myself to come in this room. So once months had passed, many months had passed, my husband was like, come on, we got to do something with the room. What do we want to do? I didn't know if I have an office and a guest room. We have that upstairs, but I didn't know if I wanted to bring the office downstairs. But because we are such family-oriented people and we like to entertain, I was like, nope, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn this into a sitting area, into a lounge, and that is what I did. And the first thing I knew I wanted to do is choose this color. In the next vlog, I'll share everything. The color of the walls, I'll really break down each piece of this room. But, yeah, you guys, I just really wanted to talk about that. And I didn't want to share or disrespect this room without sharing and telling you all where it came from. And like I said, today is the best day to do it because today is my mommy's heavenly birthday, and as well my son's 22nd birthday. But you know, as I cope and go through grief, now this room really holds a special place to me. Just like when my mom was in this room and, you know, in her bed, myself, my daughter, hell, my husband, my son, we would come in here and talk her ear off. We would talk crap, talk shit, talk everything, and she would listen. And even with her right here in her urn, that's what I do. Sometimes I just have the urge, you all, just to talk to my mom, because I really cannot believe that I am going through life without my mom. As 50 years old is coming up in the next 4 months, I cannot believe that I am going through my life without my mom. As I mentioned before, I can't believe I'm parenting without my mom. I can't believe I can't believe it. And I feel like a part of me is missing. You know, yes, you know, it comes and goes, but you know, this holiday, you all, grief really kicked my butt. And it's just, you know, but I feel like, you know what, let's do it. Let's talk about it. Let's get it out, especially because now that I've been putting it, you know, doing my outfits of the day in the green room, it's bringing a lot more attention to it. And a lot of you guys have been asking. But, you know, one thing also I wanted to share, if any of you guys out there are, you know, dealing with grief, these are some of the books, you all, that I really pick up, if not every day, I know for a fact a couple of times out the week. And one of the books is called I Wasn't Ready to Say Goodbye. It's Surviving, Coping, and Healing After the Sudden Death of a Loved One. So here's this book. And then the next one is A Daughter's Grief Journal. It says Daily Prompts and Exercise for Navigating the Loss of Your Mother. This is another book, you guys. I have written things in, scratched them out, rewritten things in and scratched it out. And then this book, Honoring Grief, Creating a Space to Let Yourself Heal. This book means a lot to me because it was actually gifted to me by one of my students. This was the book that she used after her father passed, and she has, you know, certain like little passages and certain notes in here like highlighted, and you know, she gifted this to me, so this is very special. But yeah, you guys, I just really wanted to, you know, set aside some time and, you know, share. But I promise, I will come back in another vlog and really break down what this room, you know, what this room is, what's in here, all of my little knickknacks. But I wanted to, and I thought today, hell, it's a perfect opportunity to introduce you to it, where the brain came from, because a lot of the questions that I get is, why the green? Where's the green? I love the green. What made you choose the green? And this is the reason why I chose the green. So with that being said, you guys, I know this vlog is long, but I'm not going to hold you. But I just want to say, if anybody out there is dealing with grief, if you want to put it in the comments. You know, if you like the conversations with grief, I'm sure you guys can tell I'm a little nervous because I'm still getting comfortable with this whole YouTube thing behind this camera. But anyway, you guys, but let me know, because I have so many thoughts, just so many things going through my mind surrounded by grief. But yeah, you guys, also let me know if you guys would like, because I have quite a few friends that we talk about grief all the time, and I'm going to start having little conversations. I'm going to start inviting people over, you guys. We're going to talk about grief. We're going to talk about motherhood. We're going to talk about fashion. We're going to talk about television shows, movies, or we just going to talk, you know, shoot the shit. I love a good gift. I love a good yap session. I love it. I love it. I love it. But anyway, you guys, but all right, with that being said, let's all tell my mom happy birthday. Cheers, mommy. Happy birthday, and happy birthday, son. I love you both. Bye.
VIP.